Hi, and welcome to TTT Pacific, Designing Effective Online Courses. This is the fourth video in our series, and it is dedicated to Stage 1 of the 5-stage model, Access and Motivation. The diagram on your screen you are going to become very familiar with, and this is the stepping stones of the 5-stage model. You'll notice a black arrow pointing to Stage 1. The amount of interactivity in this stage, the participants might only be dealing with one or two others at this point. The e-moderator or teacher is taking on a welcoming and supportive role. It is very, very important that you ask yourself the question, do they have access? Are they motivated? In terms of technical support, you want to make sure that you do spend quite a bit of time on this and ensure that the system has been set up and that everyone is accessing it. The analogy I'd like to use is the first day at a new school for a new student. If you had a new student, you'd be giving them a map of the school, an orientation, and maybe even a buddy to help them walk around. This is exactly what it's going to feel like for your students and your learners in a new online course. This is an essential step. Individual access and the induction of participants into online learning is a prerequisite for the future success and participation for the remainder of the course. The activities at this stage need to concentrate on motivation and setting the tone, pace, and rhythm. This was also mentioned when Finton introduced the 7 principles for good practice from the American Association of Higher Education in video 2. There needs to be a reason for the learners to come back frequently, with the purpose to participate and engage. Participants will need to navigate the course easily, while also making sure that they are doing the relevant tasks to the topic in the course. The participants might be nervous and unsure at this stage, as this may be a new way of learning for them or their classmates. In terms of access, there is more than just learning content. The learner must first learn how to use the technology, which will be attached to the course. You need to make sure you're setting up the system and they're accessing it. Be generous in allocating e-moderator time for this stage, especially if the activity is geared towards stages 1 to 3. Always ask yourself, do they have access? Are they motivated? And this needs to be repeated to yourself throughout the entire course. Prerequisites for stage 1. It's handy to send out either an email or some sort of notification with some basic information before learners and participants even begin the course. This can be as a personalized greeting that includes their login and password. There should be general information about online learning, technology requirements, and the resources available to students for technical help, and for obtaining the proper software and internet services required for the course. There needs to be information on how to access the course on the web and also how to navigate it successfully. Rules, procedures, and help for the use of interactive tools can also be helpful. A course syllabus should be presented. This should preferably be on a public page so prospective students can also view it. A course overview, a course schedule, a list of required texts or materials, clearly defined prerequisites of academic and computer skills, course expectations, instructions on activities, assignments, and deadlines. Faculty and tutor information, and along with office hours, should be presented, and also student support information. This might be administrative regulations, guidelines on plagiarism, privacy, academic appeal procedures, library facilities, access to counseling and advisory services. Once all of that has been given to the participants, you can effectively engage in stage 1. So what does stage 1 look like? Here are some activities that you may want to do at stage 1. Always start with the end in mind. First type of activity is considered icebreakers. This can sometimes take around 2 to 3 weeks online to complete. They're easy to set up, enable learners to get to know each other, and what we're looking for is them to contribute and also become more familiar with the platform. It's also a good chance for an access and motivation check You want to make them safe and fun, and this will allow them to find similar interests with other participants, and also participants with different opinions can naturally spark good conversation. It's also quite often a segue into further stages. Another good option is giving them a quiz or quizzes. You can ask each learner to contribute a fun fact about themselves, and others need to guess who it is, for example. Images are another great tool to use, as each participant could post to a website, a YouTube clip, as a clue as to something they're interested in. You can also ask participants to post a URL into a conference. Could be a hobby, a personal website, Facebook, LinkedIn, anything they feel like sharing. And again, this can spark discussions as to more about the participants and what they're interested in. There's so many more examples in Salmon's book on pages 174 to 181, and I do have reference to that at the end of this presentation. So what are the roles in stage 1? So the student at this stage is familiarizing themselves with the platform in different modes of contact, reviewing over expectations. The teacher or e-moderator may need to be involved quite a bit at this stage and available to ask access questions. So this is one of the stages when the teacher is very involved. They also need to be giving an introduction and some feedback on the first activities. This will keep up the motivation of the group. Next, we move on to stage 2, online socialization. This will look at building individuals' online identity, getting to know other participants online, and establishing connections with group members. Marie will guide you into that stage. Finally, if you did want to look into any of the references that I've gone into in this stage, I have attached the Google slides in the link below, and you can also take a moment to look at the screen in front of you.